Hello. Hello. Thank you guys so much for tuning in.
What's up, Impact?
What's up, Sae? We got Sae Saeborg Cha all the way from Las Vegas, Nevada. We have VillN Longkue
What's up,
VillN
y'all?
Lor.
Y'all hear me?
And from Anaheim, California.
Hey, I'll be right back. Yeah, sorry. I'll be right back.
It's all good. And then we have Gary, who's going to tune in soon. He's going to be here a little bit later. But he'll be tuning in. Around later, but he's tuning in from Fresno, California. I am Longka MPACT Lor. I am tuning in from Long Beach, California. We have Munch as well, Ryan Munch Lee. He is actually going to be tuning in from Sacramento, California. Again, if you are tuning in and you caught the last 3 episodes of the 4-part series that we've been doing, it's pretty much we're talking about Hmong Hip Hop Heritage. And again, you're tuning into episode 4. Today we're talking about Deeper Than Dance. The first one we talked about our origin stories, which we kind of dive into our story, our beginning, and our some of our stories of who we are and why we do what we do, and and then we move on to episode 2, which we dive a little bit deeper into, which is the hip hop experience. And our hip hop experience, we kind of talk more about our struggles, our success, our experience that we have within battling, performing, to understand what the hip hop culture is and how we found it, to its connection, correlation to our Hmong culture as well a little bit. And then we went deeper and deeper which is on Tuesday. On Tuesday, we talked about, for episode 3, we talked about bridging the gap. We went more into understanding all the different gaps that we discovered within just our Hmong culture, but at the same time within our hip hop culture that allowed us to kind of bridge certain gaps that we found within our communities, right? Not just community, but with multiple communities. So yeah, kind of a quick recap for you guys. And if you guys are still interested to watch the episode, it's still live. It's not live no more, but it is still saved onto the Lord Brothers Facebook page. Tune in and feel free to watch. Again, we're trying our best to keep it an hour, but sometimes we've been going a little bit over an hour just because usually we kind of go into this topic a little bit deep, and we kind of would rather share our, I guess, complete insights and stories compared to giving you guys incomplete insights and stories. So again, bear with us. If we go above an hour, again, just keep it up. We're not gonna do more than an hour and a half for sure. But other than that, today, if you're tuning in, again, I am Impact. We got Sae, we have VillN, we have Gary, and we have Munch. Munch and Gary will tune in as soon as possible. But yes, I'll keep talking about just why we even did it in the first place. And during this time, we have obviously a lot of stuff happening in this world right now. We have the pandemic. Obviously, we know something like that is already happening, where it's affecting the whole world, entire world, where it's like, we're all struggling through the same thing right now, which is through this pandemic. And then obviously there's a lot of racial injustice that's been happening, but we acknowledge it even more during this time. And we're taking our time right now to do us to provide education about hip hop and our Hmong culture through our experience and our story and our insights. And again, we want to educate. We're trying to do our best to provide some unity within our communities. At the same time, hopefully, if we get some education and unity, hopefully we could build some progression in life, right? So again, just as that. But yeah, just want to let you guys know too, we are doing free giveaways today. Okay. So if you're tuning in right now, we are doing free giveaways, and I'll keep reminding people. The first giveaway is virtual dance class with Sae Saeborg Cha. Yeah. Again, this is how you gonna win this free dance class. We're only taking 5, all right, 5 people, so that's private, man. That's in a dance world. I'm gonna let you know, in a dance world, five people being masters with a person who's been doing for a while and learning and like providing skills and knowledge. That's like $100+ per hour to sometime being 30-minute each sometime, you know what I mean? So I want to let you know this is like a great opportunity for you to learn from one of the greatest in our community right now. And then again, he's doing this for free. So what you do is pretty much the first 5 people who share our live right now, the first 5 people who share our live right now on Facebook, share it and tag Sae Cha, right? SAE Cha, last name CHA. Correct, right, Sae? Tag Sae, and then pretty much what's gonna happen is the first 5 people who pop up in his notification that tagged him, he will pretty much DM you and provide you with more instruction on how and when this is gonna happen. Okay. Again, this is something that Sae via his free will and obviously his generous self. So take advantage of it, y'all. Again, we're doing more giveaways as well throughout the this last episode. We're gonna give away some 7 dose merchandise, pretty much a t-shirt to first answer question that was based off of episode 1. Again, we're gonna be asking questions throughout the episode 4 here about episode 1. So again, episode 1, if you watch episode 1, is about origin story. So a lot of question is gonna be about each of us. Okay, to give you guys a heads up on that. So free giveaways in episode 4. Again, thank you guys so much for tuning in. We've been doing 1, 2, 3, 4 of our series. Again, this is Hmong Hip Hop Heritage brought to you by PMPACT VillN, Integra, Munch, and Saeborg. Those are our dance names. Yeah. Let's do this. Okay. So why not? Why not start with just a question to kind of give some free giveaways first? Okay. So whoever's listening to us right now, I'm gonna pop the first question. So whoever answered it first, and we see on the comment, what you're gonna do is just pretty much comment the answer, and if you're the first person with the right answer, I will contact you personally, DM you, and get your shirt size and address, and we will send you a 7 dose t-shirt to you for free. Yep. So the first question is, what was VillN's most memorable battle? Again, the first question is, what was VillN's most memorable battle? Again, these questions are coming out of base of episode 1. So the answer, if you watch 1, you would know what the answer is to this question. So again, the question is, what was VillN's most memorable battle? What's up, Munch? We got Munch tuning in from Sacramento, California, representing Flexible Flav. So yes. So if you answered the question right, put it in the comment. If not, we're gonna keep going and we're gonna keep repeating questions throughout. And then if you answer it right, we will contact you with free merchandise. Okay, let's keep it going. So the show, again, you're tuning in to Hmong Hip Hop Heritage, episode 4, Deeper in Dance. Today we're diving into, again, we're talking about dance, we're talking about hip hop, we're talking about our Hmong heritage and Hmong culture, and who we are. But as dancers, and especially as dancer who's been dancing for so long now, we get to this point in our life where dance is a second nature. It's not even second nature, it's like first nature to us, right? It's like are officially breathing, living, wearing what dancer do what dancer live a dancer lifestyle, eat a certain way on purpose just to get better at dancing. And a lot of stuff get turned into something that is more than just dance, right? So deeper in dance, we could dive into fitness, health and wellness, to mentorship, even spirituality, travel and experience, even politics, to many other avenues of this. So I guess our topic today is, again, we're just gonna go on deeper. Today is pretty much deeper in dance. So that's the topic. So my guests, my brothers, I'm gonna ask you guys the first question. I'm already talked too much, so I'm gonna let you guys start first. The first question is, how did your journey as a hip hop dancer lead you to understand the values of life? Did you guys see that?
Yep.
So
Yep. See it.
yeah,
Like,
I'm gonna let you guys talk first because you know, I'm gonna take a little pause.
um, yeah, man. I think it's pretty crazy being a hip hop dancer because it's not a very common career path, especially back in like the early 2000s and like even the 90s when it started. Nobody thought that you could make a career out of being a hip hop dancer, and especially in the Hmong community where it's so like you're gonna be a what? You know what I mean? Like, does that make money? Does that pay the bill? Does that pay the rent? Like, why? Why would you do that? And like, it's taught me a lot. It's taught me, that through progressive passion and effort, you can make something out of what you are, what you desire. You know what I mean? And the values of life. There's so many values in life, and dance, just being a hip hop dancer, like it's taught me to be more expressive of how I truly feel. It's taught me to not, be so, not be just in my own world. You know what I mean? Like, there's a lot more people out there than just Hmong people, or like it's taught me to branch out and make friends with people of all races and ethnicities and colors, and it's opened my mind to the opportunities that exist in this world and how to properly even adapt with American society, coming from the Hmong society. You know what I mean? Like, being a kid, you don't know anything about the world when you're a child. Everything, you're a naive little child, and you almost don't know anything unless your parents expose you to it. So it wasn't until I started dancing that I was really exposed to what's happening in this world. I really understood my surroundings. I really understood my community a lot better. And it's helped me understand how to be Hmong. You know what I mean? Like, it's helped me value what it means to be myself as well, more so than just being in my own bubble. So yeah, man, it's taught me a lot. There's a lot of value in it.
That's true. Something you said. It's again, we talked about this a little bit in the other one too, but like I'll say it again because it is deep in our dance. Talking about self identity too. In that what you mentioned is like just like you, I was a shy guy too. I was a shy, like I was a shy guy all the way throughout my all the way to middle school before I even start dancing too. And I feel like it did provide me that connection where I found like comfortable me. Like, it helped me adapt to who I am, and at the same time, you're talking about adapting and like also adapting to society of what it's not just Hmong, but also what's happening outside of our communities, right? And at the same
Yeah.
time, understanding that and understand how it is to be a Hmong son or brother or uncle, so like yeah, I totally feel that like
Yeah, we a lot of Hmong people come from like a family where a discipline is a huge thing. You know what I mean? And like being disciplining each other is a huge thing, keeping each other in check, and we also don't really show each other a lot of support. And in the other episodes, we talk about how like a lot of our Hmong parents and brethren are like kind of emotionally disconnect from expressing themselves to each other. And hip hop dance is it's all expression. That's all it's about. It's an art of expression. So with that, it's taught me to see how other families really truly support each other, and also see how other families really truly abuse each other too. I've seen both sides, and I started to understand like what being a family member really is about, what the real value is behind it.
True. True. I mean, because in sense, you in a sense, hip hop, the hip hop culture is also a big family itself. Right? You think about it. Is a community itself, but like when you find your family, like let's talk about crew, right? Gary mentioned family crew. You know what I mean? Like that's straight up. It teach family kinship too. So I think that's something that you're right. I mean, I could totally relate to you on that. So Gary just Gary in from Fresno, California. Uh, again, we're just talking about the question, which is how did your journey as a hip hop dancer lead you to understand the values of life, right? And does anyone want to jump on before I go? All right,
What's up,
I'll
everybody?
keep talking then. All right. So, anyways,
Go
for
for it.
me,
Go for
I'll
it.
say some of the value. I mean, hip hop taught me many values. Again, since identity, right? But I guess I'll share one of them is definitely the ability to create and share with the world. I think that's something that I think is really powerful. That the values of life, right? I think as an artist, I think there's a really important and powerful thing to be able to create something, right? Whether that identity or create like movements or create food or create memories, right? Or create opportunity for people to learn from, right? And the ability to create those moments or whatever it is, right? Creations in this world, and then to be able to utilize that and be able to just share it without even thinking about getting anything back. I think that's something that I learned about me as a dancer, and not just a dancer, but becoming just more mature. I'm not even saying I'm like got to my like if I was like Super Saiyan, I'm not Super Saiyan God level. I mean, like if I'm trying to get to that level, I feel like there's years and years of me still that's still coming for me to experience that. You know what I mean? And that's gonna come with many other experience that I will experience through me as a dancer, but also exchanging myself as also a son to a brother to even an uncle. You know, learning what those values are with myself as a dancer. So definitely, man, creation, being a person that understand how to create in a way where it's really selflessly and giving, right? That's something I feel like we need more in this world, where people could be more passionate, right? To be able to do that selflessly is very so powerful in a way where you will change the world in such a small movement, right? Or such a small movement or such a small time, but it's gonna flip the world in a way where it's gonna help change one person's life, if anything, right? And so I know I've grown up to having an opportunity to be, I guess I wouldn't even say a mentor, but like just an older captain, to be able now being in a crew where you had to take the leadership sometime, you know what I mean? And like now understand that I will up to that position, or I have to lead, I will lead, right? And like understanding the difference from understanding your ownership and just taking responsibility and following through and supporting selfishly, and like love each person almost pretty much the same, and treat each other as equal as possible. So if anything, yeah, man, dance, man, as a dancer, it has definitely taught me the power of creation and the power of just sharing selflessly. So I think that's something that I would like to share right now. I mean, it taught me so many other stuff too, but like if anything, I want, since it's gonna be our last one, that's one that I will share. So, yeah, man. Want something, the questions, any answer to this question? I know you guys are amazing dancers with many experience and stories. Again, if you're tuning in, the first question that we asked, if you can answer it, free giveaway, free t-shirt for Samados, is what was VillN's most memorable battle?
All right. What's up, everybody? Yeah. So, some of the values of life that hip hop helped me understand is, just put yourself out there. You know what I'm saying? If you don't put yourself out there, then nothing's gonna happen for you. And it taught me, honestly, the value of like hard work. You know what I'm saying? A lot of skills and things that I've learned throughout my life surprisingly came through dance. You know what I'm saying? Just from the fact of organizing events, you know, networking, communicating with other people, you know, dances taught me a lot of that stuff, especially hip hop dancing. You know what I'm saying? You learn how to communicate with people. Even if you can't even communicate with people, you communicate through dance. So it's taught me a lot, you know, and it's given me a lot of the skills necessary in life for me to even go to my job now and other things that I do in life that's really helped out, you know. So with dance, the values of life that dance has taught me is, you know, it's hard work. Hard work, put yourself out there, because I mean, you really think about how many people in this world is dancing. You know what I'm saying? How many people are you actually striving to compete against, and how many people are you actually, you know, going up against? You know, there's millions, millions. You know what I'm saying? And so it's taught me confidence, especially is a very key thing. I think Impact and Sae both touched up on that, and I will also touch up on that too. You know, it's taught me confidence. You know, and that's, you know, that's the simplest way to put it. You know what I'm saying? It taught me confidence, and it taught me, you know, like to appreciate everything that I have and to go for it. Don't just wait for it. Go for it. Put yourself out there. Be confident in yourself.
So, I think that I agree to the confident level part too. I know we all understand that in order to be a dope dancer or a performer, you need to kind of come out of your shell and really present yourself, right? In a way where you have to, it's a mental thing, right? Like utilize the ego to support you in that way. So I agree with you on that for sure.
Yeah, I mean, piggybacking off of Munch, I feel like that's even how I started off. Like my first job interview is, you know, like I wasn't confident, but I took it as like it was a battle. You know, like how would I take it if it was a B? So I went into my first job interview as a B-boy, not even as like an employee trying to, you know, obviously I want the, you know, obviously that was the goal. But then of course, like what dance has taught me in a sense to kind of transition from your answer there too is confidence was a big thing, you know. And I feel especially coming from like a breaking community, you know, you have to be confident when you're dancing, you know. And I feel like I took that to life, you know, and anything that kind of scared me or I had some kind of fear or over it, I was like, all right, I can't go in it as Longkue or as Steven. I had to go in as villain, you know. So like when I go in as villain, it's like a different persona now for me. So it kind of allows me to break that. It kind of allows me to break the character, you know, just allowed me to be confident, you know, in whatever it is that I'm doing. And I feel like a lot of like in my journey at dance, I've been able to travel a few places too, and it has opened my eyes to just different cultures. And you know, you really don't appreciate really what you have to, you know, until you've gone to places where you've seen people with less and they see it as more. You get what I mean? And I feel like traveling to different places and just learning about other people and their way of life makes you a better, for me, makes me understand the world that's so broad, you know, like there's still so much more things to learn, so much more places to go, like, you know, as small as we think the world is, you know, it's like I feel like in life, like it, yeah, man, like being a hip hop dancer has definitely like opened my eyes to just more than, you know, it was more than dance. It was the journey, you know. I mean, it was like about the journey. It wasn't about being a hip hop dancer. It was about the journey of a hip hop dancer and the things that, you know, you kind of learn and pick up as you kind of transition through that journey, you know. So one thing I would love to share is that, you know what I mean, and again, I think humble too. I learned that through hip hop, being humble, because I feel like my first mentor was a very humble person, and me being like a super like fan, just, you know, I was like a celebrity, walked in and that for me taught me like humbleness, because I was a kid acting. I'm sure I was asking a bunch of stupid questions too, but like my mentor Gerald, B-boy Gerald, rest in peace. He answered every question, and he answered every question I had, and like it wasn't like he asked my questions, or just kind of put me aside or ignored me. Nah, dude, like he answered everything, and so in the end, I feel like the journey of a hip hop dancer also kind of like taught me how to be humble, and at a young age, of course. And I always just told myself, like, from there on, I was like, I just want to be the person. I want to treat people like how I want to be treated, And in the end, that's another great lesson that I kind of took from hip hop, the journey.
Right. I agree, man. Like usually it's more than the destination or the journey, like you said. I mean, all of us have got to a point where we were able to celebrate a success, right? But if you look back right now, do you think that moment of a success was like that moment of like acknowledgement and success was that like the most best feeling you remember the most, or you remember like the training hours and like,
I think it was it's a journey, man, because I feel like that ending point would mean nothing if there wasn't a journey, there wasn't a process,
right.
Because then it would have mean nothing, It's like would I just want for like to go compete and make and have the judges just buy out the judges to be like, you're gonna win, you're gonna win, you're gonna win this, Like I'm not about that, I'm more about like I wanna go through the journey to work hard and earn that, so that when I earn it, it's not so much about winning. It's like, yo, remember when we were training and we did that, and remember when like I couldn't hit that, I couldn't get this, I couldn't get that, round together, or like I didn't, remember when I was having a problem with that, and I was able to fix it, like it's those memories that I feel like it's the one that's more talked about, and cherished. Of course, it's gonna be, winning is just gonna be, it's just a trophy. It's just there to remind you, but really, it's like the trophy or the winning anything in life is just there for you to kind of have like a piece of item or what do you call it, memento, to kind of just visually have it there on your wall or whatever.
Like
but
that.
truly the beautiful thing that comes with it is a story from that
I like that
trophy, from that thing.
I like that.
Yeah.
Like what you're saying is pretty much your it's your destination is pretty much your target, right? Like it's a target, it's a bullseye, but your journey hitting that bullseye, it doesn't matter how you do it, but it's the way you do it, and the people you meet around it getting there, and it's more valuable, right? Yeah. Sick.
Yep.
Yeah, definitely no regrets on any of the training and hardships that we went through.
Yeah.
No regrets at all.
100. That's true. So I mean, someone just answers villain's answer. Charlie Va Lee, Rebel Beast One, you got the answer. Again, we're gonna
Nice, Charlie.
we're gonna keep asking questions. So we'll move on to Gary Luca. Gary, you want to chime in a little bit on this question before we move on to the next one?
Yeah, I think for me, my journey as a hip hop dancer, I think it hit me at the lowest point in my life, when it was like, I got divorced, I lost my job, it seemed like everything in my life was going downhill. And if it wasn't for breaking, to have that space, to have that peace of mind, to listen to the music that got my body moving, I think that I wouldn't have the life that I have right now. So as a hip hop dancer, yeah, like to me, I learned how to appreciate life. I learned how to appreciate, the sun, the air, the things outside. Like it just gave me this, this new breath of fresh air that I felt like you know, people don't realize it, but if you do something that makes you happy, you know, your whole life will just nothing but go up, you know. And for me, I lived it, you know, and I tell everyone all the time, like, I see people who are struggling, who are going through problems, you know, and I tell them, I'm just like, hey man, like, just try to be a happier person and try to define what happiness is. You know, you know, to some people it's wealth, to some people it's material things, you know, to some people it's like a peace of mind, you know. And that's my journey as a hip hop dancer so far, and I love it. You know, like, I love breaking, I love hip hop, and you know, to anyone that's out there that's listening to this, if you're going through a hard time, you know, pick up a a Bluetooth speaker. You know, I was gonna say a boombox, but I don't think people use that anymore. And you know, put some music on and just flow with it. You know, just vibe with it. So
I still got a boombox, man.
I have a lot of boombox too. You're right though. I mean, you're talking about the small thing that matters. You know, I think that's something that is really important to see. Sometimes the small things are the biggest thing. You know, like you said. But yeah, just to like just kind of wrap everything up on this question. I feel like everyone, all what everyone said in here was, I feel like it's true values of life right now, and it's true value is a reminder of all the values that I think is important for our society to just get reminded of too, to kind of, I guess again, remember how important it is just to kind of find some source of progression and find some source of light to kind of continue thriving, right, as an individual or as a group or as a unity, united community. So yeah, thank you guys for sharing that. Super important for us to even understand not just us being a dancer, but also us being just a human being. So for you guys to express how you guys are as just human beings, that's powerful, man. So we got one winner already. I believe Charlie was the first person who answered VillN's question. What was VillN's most memorable battle? And that was Rebel BC 1. So good job. Next question. All right, this is a free giveaway. Another free giveaway opportunity, y'all. If you're tuning in, the question is, what was Gary's first professional career? Again, this came out from episode 1 and 2, I believe. Yeah, I believe 1 and 2. We mentioned it kind of a little bit in 1 and then in 2 as well. So, if anyway, if you've been tuning in, you should know this one here. Gary mentioned about his personal story in life, and honestly, this was something that I learned from Gary as well. So I'm excited if you were listening. Again, what was Gary's first professional career? That's another chance to win a free giveaway from 7 Dose. Move on to the next question, fellas. You guys ready? Next question is pretty much something that Sae already kind of mentioned, which is like amazing that he mentioned in his answer already. But like we're talking about like since we're diving deeper, you know what I mean? Like, and we're all Hmong, right? And we're dancers, right? It could go both ways, right? At the same time, like so the question is pretty much, what have dance taught you about being Hmong, right? And it honestly could go about the opposite too, right? What have being Hmong taught you about dance too? Because sometimes both does kind of support each other in different ways if you dig deeper, right? So I don't know. Does anyone want to talk about this? Questions?
Yeah. I mean,
yeah.
yeah.
Go ahead, Sai. Go ahead, Sai.
I'll speak on it just because I kind of spoke on it on the last question. Like, you know, it's actually helped me identify with myself a bit more. You know, because dancing kind of helped me get out my expression. You know, all the frustrations that's happened in my life, all the things that I never understood. You know what I mean? Like, I'm sure a lot of people go through that too. And it's taught me to appreciate my own culture a lot more, and you know, and show me how unique we are, you know, as a culture, and how artistic we are as well, you know, from music to dance to food, you know, to clothing. Like, oh my gosh, I look back, I'm just like, wow, you know, like Hmong people are so creative, and a lot of that's helped me be creative in my own way, you know. um my dad blows, you know, he choking up, and so does my brother, you know. And my mom, she's amazing at the threads, you know, and she's also an amazing cook. My sister, my older sister, you know, like she's a graphic design major, and she also sews too. She learned a lot from my mom. And you know, I think my whole family's just to the core artistic, and you know, that has helped me a lot in figuring out how to be artistic in my own way. You know, I wasn't ever able to pick up threads or cook or choking, but you know, I did hip hop. You know, I did popping, I did crump, you know, and like, and I'm sure that in my bloodline helped me figure out how to be creative in my own way.
That's tight. It's kind of like you're a fusion to all of that.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
you're threading when you're popping, when you're tutting.
Mhm.
Don't forget, man, you're also an amazing artist because you can draw too, man. Don't forget
Yeah,
that,
yeah.
man.
Yeah,
Come
it's
on
always
now.
hard. My siblings.
That's amazing. Wow. That's cool because like, when you say that, I look at you and I'm like, dude, but you could do all that though, but in your own way though. You know, that's wow. Yeah. That's pretty crazy. I mean, that's just my insight that I got from listening to you. That's powerful, man. Like to see the result of you saying that about your family, but at least from my as an outsider listening to you, I look at you and I'm like, because I know you as a dancer, so to know that you have a music background as from your father to even like artist realm from your brother to even like textile art, you know what I mean? Like, dude, that's tight. But I see all that in your dance too, though, so it's kind of like you have it. I do see that, so that's powerful, man.
Art from immediate family, you know what I mean?
It's powerful. That's powerful.
Yeah, that's dope, man. That's what's up. Yeah, man. For me, you know, I think I've always had that sense of pride in being Hmong, and so you know, for me, one thing about dance is I've always wanted to represent what Hmong is in dance. You know what I'm saying? I've always been prideful about being Hmong. You know, I also grew up in that era where there's a lot of people, you know, my generation who really dislike me. I remember in middle school, everybody was hating on being Hmong because of all the politics and stuff like that. But even though I was part of that, I've always had this sense of pride, you know, that sense of pride of being who you are, where you come from. And, you know, as I got older, right, I think what dance really taught me about being Hmong is like, you know, that sense of pride is actually what I used to help me out a lot more in kind of the hip hop community and the dance community. Because I always look at other cultures, like when I see somebody who's Native American, you know, they're like, yo, I'm Native American. Look at my tribal stuff. Look at my things, such as like people like Remind, man. He's always rocking that. He's like, yo, I'm Native and I'm proud. You know what I'm saying? And then I look at, you know, first team I ever saw perform ever was Gamblers Crew 2005, a Battle of the Year. When I saw that clip, you know, everybody, and you know, they're always like, yo, we're Koreans, pride up, you know, Korea, you know. And so I've always had that sense of pride. I was like, you know what? We can do that with Hmong people too, you know what I'm saying? And so, which is why I try to rock as much Hmong stuff as I can, you know what I'm saying? Because you want to represent, you have that sense of pride, you know. So I can't really say, you know, what dance have taught me about being Hmong, because I've always been sort of prideful about being Hmong, having Hmong in my heritage. But I've tried to utilize the Hmong culture influences that I grew up with in dance. So I guess I could reverse that question into, you know, so, you know, it's hard to put it in words, man.
Yeah,
so
totally. I see where you're coming. Can I ask you, like, what are some ways what are some ways that I guess for you, like, what are some ways you what are some ways that you're doing that then, like, as a dancer? Like, how do you represent the Hmong culture through dance?
Yeah. First and foremost, you know, try to rock as much Hmong stuff as I can. You know what I'm saying? That's the first step that I try to do. But also, I think, like what we talked about in the previous episodes too, like, our parents came from a third world country, and our parents came from a harder life. And I've always, my father has always told me that, like you don't really know how strong your people are until you really realize how strong they are, And so one thing that I've always held prideful about that and try to utilize in dance is just that courage that, our parents and our family went through with the war and stuff like that, and always expressing everybody to, yeah, when they ask, because first thing I always get everywhere I go, hey man, are you Korean? Oh, nah. Like, what are you? Oh, I'm Hmong. What's Hmong? Like, we don't know what Hmong is, and always putting it out there and representing it as much as you can, and that's just pretty much my intake on it. You know what I'm saying?
Good.
So being Hmong, I just use a lot of Hmong influences in my life of, okay, my father's always told me, Hmong people were warriors, we're farmers, we were everything. You really think about, look at where we came from. You know what I'm saying? We're fighters, and we consistently fight for a better life. And so I just took all of that and implemented in dance as much as I could. So I've always had that sense of pride of being Hmong. Every time somebody asks me, what are you? I'm Hmong, dude. I'm Hmong. Like 100% I'm Hmong. And I would not rather be anything else.
That's so dope. I mean, I could totally relate with you on that for sure. I mean, one that I relate to for sure right off the bat is just straight up educating people about Hmong in general. Because like you said, I can relate. People asking me, are you Hmong? Oh, no, I mean, I don't ask you straight out, are you Hmong first, but are you Chinese? Are you Vietnamese, Japanese, Korean? And then it's going to, I'll say I'm Hmong, and it's what? Mongolian?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like,
Man.
and so, like I know we all get that point, but I feel like it's also the exchange of educating people about our Hmong people through our journey and our exchange with other people in our dance community. So that's dope, man. I love seeing that other brothers and dancers that like just like you and me are doing that too. You know what I mean? So that's dope. I totally could relate to you on that.
Yeah.
Gary VillN, you guys want to answer this question?
Yeah. I could chime in. I think for me, the dance really taught me how to appreciate being Hmong. Having that it's kind of like when I see breaking, how they always talk about character. I think being Hmong is like, that's our identity. And you don't have to lie about who you are. You don't have to fake it. You should represent that you're Hmong, and everything in the Hmong culture. I really do appreciate it. All the positive things, all the negative things. And for me, it's like, when I break, I want people to know, like, I'm a Hmong b-boy. Kind of like I think even for all of us, like, we always have some type of fashion, some type of urban apparel that we wear when we break, that has some type of Hmong insignia or something, just so we can help represent. And to me, it's just that appreciation that gives me that identity, where I'm different than than some of these other b-boys in this way, because I got influenced by Chokdanga, by the way that they move, the way they dance. So Chokdanga, like even a shoulder freeze, like I saw that in Chokdang, but I never even knew that you could utilize that in b-boying, until I saw it in b-boying, and I'm just like, hey, I can take a little bit from the culture, and there's my identity in breaking. So I really have that appreciation for the Hmong culture in a way where it's just who I am, and and I'm really happy about it. So
I agree. Dance does provide you a sense of identity in that way too. So, Bill, you want to chime in?
Yeah. And then for me, I feel like dance has sort of again, for me, what it has done was kind of connected, if anything, me to like a bunch of other Hmong people from other, like I had mentioned in the previous discussion, I feel like not so much more about my culture, but I feel like it has played a big part to connecting me to, other Hmong people. You know what I mean? Because just through the journey of dance, and obviously also like how big dance was, like breaking was how big breaking was in our Hmong community. So because of that, I feel like it has linked me to like so many groups of like Hmong people from all around like America, to Alaska, to Wisconsin, to Minneapolis, to North Carolina, to like like Fresno, Merced, Stockton, Oklahoma, like it goes on and on, you know what I mean? Even to France, like what we were talking about previously. So I feel like it also, other than linking me to like, so many other people, Hmong people, and also learning about their journey, you know what I mean? Even getting to where they got to. It's, for me, it's also like understanding that, knowing that it's like, damn, Hmong people, we could do anything we want in life. You know what I mean? I feel like we have that capability, and and because I feel like we're so like kind of mysterious and unknown because nobody knows who we are. Like just dancing, it made me want to push even more. Like I get people who, and I love it. Don't get me wrong, I love it when people go, yeah, represent the Hmong. You know what I mean? Like even that question, and it's not because, here's the thing, it's not because I know they want to support. I know they're prideful, but it's the truth. It's because I feel like in the end, I am doing that. And that's why for me, I don't ever see that as a way to that makes me feel any like smaller or bigger. If anything, I'm like, heck yeah, like I feel, if that's how you feel, thank you, because I'm pushing, you know what I mean? And I know like there's still so much to do and to go, like in the end, in the end, we're all of us are just carving a path, right? We're just laying it down, but the next generation, they're going to take it farther. They're the one that's going to carry it to the point where we're like, we could just like, yes, dude, I'm so proud of our people. You know what I mean? So I think for me, that's really, it was, one thing that I feel like dance has taught me. But of course, other than me being Hmong already, like I'm going to always do it, and no matter what, I'm going to do it for my people always. You know what I mean? So.
Totally. I totally agree with all you guys on that. Like, I'll say a little bit before we move on to this question, but I think dance has taught me how to just be simply confident of who I am, right? And I know a lot of us already kind of point that out there, but it's a sense of confidence, sense of understanding who you are, and it's not even about being Hmong, but it's being who you are. And because I am Hmong already, that part is gonna be boosted up no matter what, and that part there's gonna want to be better, as well as just me wanting to be a better dancer. So mentally, physically, and everything in terms of even community-minded person, at being community-minded person and so on, and reaching out there to kind of, slowly start teaching you the next feature what dance is, and at the same time what it is to be a Hmong person too, right? So totally, man, 100%. I agree with all of you guys, what you guys say. But definitely, just to add on to that, it's definitely just a simplicity of, again, understanding how to be who you are as a dancer. And once you understand that, you're naturally gonna boost yourself as a Hmong person no matter what. At least from my point of view of where I come from. But yeah, let's move on to the next question. The next question that we're gonna ask is just really a simple one. But before we do that, we're gonna do another free giveaway. We have like 3 more questions for free giveaways. So the next one is a question about Sae, right? So the next question, if you was paying attention to, I believe, episode 1, right? We kind of talked about how he got down with the Jabberwocky, and he mentioned about this one individual, and I even shouted out that person too. So if you pay attention, so who was the Jabberwocky member who talked to Sae before he left to Las Vegas? So you can answer that, you'll get a free t-shirt from Sam and Doe's. We're gonna move on to next question though. I'll post that in a comment. what are some words of advice you want to share, y'all? Like really simple. You know, I know this topic is about deeper in dance, so you know, I know a lot of us here have experience with diets, health and wellness, you know, even politic, I mean mentorship, man, spirituality to many things through hip hop dance, and not just hip hop dance, but just the journey of life, the values that we dig into ourselves as individuals and ourselves as a bigger group too, right? Just like us five right now being here together. I mean, there's a bigger message with just us five being here together, right? But I know all of us have our own individual message, or it doesn't have to be a message. It could be a quote. It could be a experience that you had, that you encountered, that just changed everything, or a sense of who you are now. You know what I mean? That like you truly value. And if anything, before we end off like this 4-part series of Hmong Hip Hop Heritage, like what do you want to just leave off? You know, I know last week we with the last episode, which is just past Tuesday, we left off with our pretty much a mantra, our life motto, to, you know, what we stand for, a mission statement, whatever, you know. So this is kind of similar to that, but I guess at the end of the day is like, what do you want to leave off to whoever's watching right now? You know, it's your chance.
Yeah, just you know, if you guys watched last episode, I talked about, you know, the mantra that I live by is, you know, be your own hero. You know, be your own hero, and you know, it's not about the journey you take; it's about who you become during that journey. You know, and some word of advice is that I always tell my students and just people around me in general. You know, I always tell them, you know, how bad do you want it? You know, are you willing to lose sleep for it? Are you willing to sacrifice time for it? Are you willing to sacrifice fun for what you want? Are you willing to lose sleep for what you want? You know, are you willing to just go through the motions? And you know, I want to let everybody know that the days that you don't want to do it the most is probably going to be the ones that count the most. You know, because just to be completely real, man, like if I got up and did all the things that I do during the day, like, you know, a lot of the times, you know, I'm actually late to the podcast the last 2 days just because I'm coming straight home from training, you know, and I've been training since noon. I get off at work at 8:30 in the morning, sleep till 10, go train at noon, come back, you know, we have our podcast at 6. You know, after our podcast, and I do some personal training, and then I do my own training on the side with breaking also. So, you know, what I always tell everybody, and then I work at midnight. So I tell everybody, you know, how bad do you want it and how much are you willing to sacrifice for it? I don't really go out much. You know what I'm saying? I have a social life. I talk to people, but a lot of times, you know, I tell everybody, hey, you know, I can't go out. Oh, why? Well, I'm going to go train. I'm going to go practice. I'm going to go work out. I'm going to go build, right? Also remember that, you know, when you build your empire, there's so many things that you have to be willing to sacrifice to build your empire. You know, and that's just something that I want to, some word of advice that I want to give people. What are you willing to sacrifice to build your empire? What are you willing to do? You know, how much money are you willing to pay? You know, nothing in this life is free. We have to all understand that nothing's free. So sometimes when you want to learn something, you have to pay for it. Sometimes when you want to do something, you have to exchange for it, you know. And I'm really, really lucky that I actually have a lot of mentors and a lot of people around me that were willing to help me. Like, for example, Sae is one of my bigger popping inspirations. You know what I'm saying? Sae really actually helped me out a lot in the beginning, because I remember going to Jedi Assassin practices and just watching Sae, Marcus, and JD and all these guys just drilling. I'll just be in the back like, well, better do these 6 steps, you know. And, you know, even with my crew right now, Flexible Flav, you know what I'm saying? I have so many inspirations where, you know, I have my boy Simon all the way out in Italy, who's consistently doing things, who's always busy. You know, I have my mentor Abe, who's always doing so much, but he's always taking the time out to, like, you know, hey, make sure you're doing this. Hey, make sure you're understanding this, you know. And of course, you know, I have my Muay Thai gym with my instructors who are constantly on me, like, hey, make sure you're dieting, hey, make sure you're eating well, make sure you're training, make sure you're lifting, make sure you're doing cardio. You know, I have so much people around me. And you know, also remember, you are what your environment is. So when you surround yourself with people who have the same drive and the same goal, you're gonna feel that tension, you know. And also, you know, sometimes it's hard to find that. So I tell everybody, even for me in the beginning, I always told myself, you know what, I want to be that guy. I want to be that motivation. My motivation is to be your motivation. And in order for me to motivate you, I have to go above and beyond. And once I go above and beyond, you're going to be around me like, man, this dude's going above and beyond. So I need to go above and beyond. And then you create that space, create that structure around you and your peers. You know, I'm super hard on all my students. I'm super hard on everybody that I'm around. But at the same time, I show that level like, hey, man, like the only reason why I'm hard on you is because I want you to see that I have expectations for you. And it's not to force it upon you, but I know that you can be better than even what you think it is. And like I said in the last podcast before we ended off, you know, at the end of the day, you have to believe in yourself. And once you believe in yourself, you'll be surprised what you can do when you believe in yourself. And then you'll be extra surprised when you believe in yourself and the environment you're in, the people you're around, and they believe in you and they have the same mentality as you. Then it's a constant growth. Is consistently grown. I tell everybody, you can never be too successful in life. You know, our lifespan is not too long, but within that life that you live, you know, how much are you willing to sacrifice to get to where you want to be? You know, and so a word of advice that's a couple of word of advices that I want to leave out to everybody. You know, if you really want something, you'll make time for it. If you really want to do something, you'll make time for it.
I agree.
Know? So
that's great advice. It's like a advice with the question.
Yeah.
You know, it's advice with the question. It's powerful. It's true. Yeah. I mean, I sacrifice a lot of stuff, and like I could be honest, and I'll be like, yeah, support Munch and that 100%. Whatever you want to do in life, it doesn't come for free, for sure. You definitely have to do a lot of stuff in order to get to where you want, and sometimes hard work, sometimes time. Sometimes is just having a minor injury to understand how to get better at something else. So, I mean, you know, just throwing some example out there for people to know. But since we're here, Munch talked about mentorship, man. We're gonna go straight to his answer for a free T-shirt. If you're interested for a free T-shirt, free giveaway, before we jump to another person and talk about advice, this is my question to you guys, right? Who's watching? What was Munch's first mentor?
Hope y'all been paying attention.
Yeah, if y'all paying attention, you knew the answer. So yeah, so who was Munch's first mentor? Okay. Again, you answer that, you get a free T-shirt. I will contact you and get your address and send you a free T-shirt for $7. But going back to our topic, which is pretty much the words of advice, right? Word of advice to, I don't know, could be a story. What do you guys want to give away? It look like Gary's gonna jump in.
Yeah, I can say something real quick. So I think my word of advice to anyone who's listening and watching is just to don't miss out on opportunities. You know, because for me, I think there was a few times when I went to some jams that I didn't really want to go to, but I'm glad I went, because over there, that's where I met some new faces, some new people that are now very important in my life, you know. And to me, it's like you can still relate that into just life itself when you talk about, you know, don't miss opportunities. And so that's my advice for the kids and for anyone that's listening is like, you know, especially right now when we're in this pandemic, how it almost seemed like the world is put on a pause and everyone just seems really unmotivated, or there's no, you know, there's no more personal, like person to person, like jams and things like that anymore. now a lot of people are reminiscing about what we used to do and how it was, or what they're going to do next when things open back up. So I'm really glad that I took a lot of opportunities. Even when I flew out to the Midwest by myself, I've never flown by myself before, but I started taking these opportunities to go because I wanted to explore the community out there. I wanted to go see new things that I never saw. And to me, I felt like it built me to who I am today, where it's like kind of like how I was talking about being open-minded yesterday. It just opened my mind, and as I started exploring new communities and taking new opportunities that came with it, I myself just found myself at just a better part of my life, where I'm, when I speak about happiness, it's true. I try to really put myself in a spot where happiness is key, and by taking these opportunities and not missing them, I think that's the way to start. So, yeah.
Super dope. Super dope.
Yeah, man.
What about you, Sai?
Yeah, I vibe with that. Taking opportunities that comes to you, because if I didn't take the opportunity to join Jabberwockies, I definitely wouldn't be where I am right now. Um, a lot of the guys have been speaking about like life advice. I want to speak more on hip hop. My advice for all Hmong hip hop dancers, or anyone who's looking to get into hip hop. I think one of the biggest topics nowadays is very political, and it's also about like cultural appropriation. Um, I want you guys to take it with a grain of salt, because it's a huge thing, because it's not really, hip hop isn't derived from the Hmong culture. We all understand that, we all know that. Um, and I think the key thing is showing appreciation, and showing and being knowledgeable of where it came from, and the people, and the reason why hip hop was birthed to begin with. Hip hop was created out of oppression, and that oppression was created out of politics. You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, whether if you're into hip hop, you're into politics, because politics is what created hip hop. You know what I mean? That the oppression of being in a low income area, not having the funds, not having any social funds to help your family get off the foot, that has kept everybody below. You know what I mean? Like we got into hip hop because of oppression. You know what I mean? We have all come from a low income area, and for some reason, hip hop spoke to us. Whether it was through gang life, whether it was through staying at home all the time, whether it was through camaraderie. Hip hop is political, and what's happening now in the societal, the societal like level of things, and the what's happening, really, it's all part of this. You know what I mean? Like, this is what's happening now is going to birth more people in hip hop. Hip hop is a form of expression, and people express how they have been oppressed, and that's really how hip hop was made. So if you're going to get into hip hop, know where it's from, respect where it's from, or else if you don't, you're not doing your research, you're not learning your history, you're not giving props to the creators, then you are culturally appropriating. And that's the bottom line. So when you understand these things and you give respect to where it came from, that's cultural appreciation. So that's what I want to speak on.
That's true. I mean, when you get into something that you love doing, it is important to know where it came from, the why and the who's, in order to know where you take it, right? So you're right on that. I couldn't even add more. I mean, you hit it to the straight up to T and the dot and the pairs, exclamation mark, everything. One thing I want to add to that, straight up, like I know hip hop has ability to heal. You know what I mean? It would come here through oppression, and if we don't want, if it doesn't heal us, then obviously we would not be here too. You know what I mean? And so I want to remind us that because that ability to heal and give us some sorts of freedom and find us who we are and so on. So that's true, man. Like 100%. Education is important, and that's what we're here for. You know what I mean? That's what we're here. That's one of the big things. So thank you, Sai, for mentioning that. You know, about the politics side of what hip hop is, and cultural appropriation, and even what you mentioned was really dope was the opposite of that is a cultural appreciation. You know, understanding it properly. You know, so thanks for like sharing that straight up. Yeah, just want to say that.
I feel like especially during these times, there's no excuse to not go and research and obtain the knowledge. You know what I mean? So with almost anything, and especially hip hop right now, right? So for sure, I totally feel Sai on that. And also with Munch too, and Garen, what you guys talked about too was very key. I will also talk again on like how Gary said, surrounding yourself with the right people as well. I think that's key. You got to surround yourself with the right people to sort of allow you to grow too, and not only allow you to grow, but that believes in your vision as well, and that also will help spark you to keep going, or whatever that is. Like, I feel like for me, like usually when I feel not motivated, that's when I need to surround myself with those type of people. You know what I mean? My circle of motivation, my circle of inspiration. So I love that. And also what Gary said about the opportunities. You lose, they say you lose, every opportunity, you don't take. And it's very true, and it don't even matter. Some opportunities aren't, some of the opportunities that lead to some of the most memorable and greatest things in your life / accomplishments are some of the things you do for free. You know what I mean? So I would say even things to like when you don't feel like you want to take that opportunity, it's like you could do it, just do it. Obviously if you have, the time to do it and everything kind of it falls in your sort of purpose, yeah, so just kind of throw that out there too. But I would say with this question is to just not give up on whatever it is that you're doing, that you believe in. You know what I mean? I feel like consistency is just key to almost anything. And if you're consistent and you believe, and of course it's not gonna be a smooth ride. It never is. Like that's not. If it was a smooth ride, then everybody would be like making billions. Everybody would be successful. Everyone would be accomplished all the things that you've done already. You know what I mean? So, and the main thing too about it is to remember that you're unique in your own ways. You know what I mean? And that is part of your gift, is because you're different than everyone else. And if you're able to stand out with your uniqueness, that is what's gonna make you you, and that's what's gonna make you your signature. That's gonna stand out beyond everyone else. So I feel like if you're good at something, keep doing it, and so when you lose motivation or you're lost, surround yourself with the right people. Take every opportunity you get, and always pay homage to the people that you learn from and to the history of what it is that your that craft or whatever it is that you love doing, and and just don't give up. And there's multiple times when I wanted to give up, but I tell myself giving up is too easy. I just stop. How easy is it to just give up? It's like I just stop. I just don't do it no more. Like it's too that easy. Like if giving up was harder, then maybe I would have gave up. But giving up is just too damn easy for all the things that I've already done in life, and in a way where it's like I'm already working. I already started. So I was like, why am I gonna stop now? You know what I'm saying? So giving up's too easy. So I would leave it at that.
True. Man, have you guys just give up? Sometimes it feels hella good.
Oh
I'm
yeah,
just saying.
man, it
I'm gonna be
is.
real,
It is.
because
The
something
balance,
there
the
was like,
counter, like the counter of it is
yeah,
it's
the
very
counter of
much
it.
the
I'll be real
same,
with you.
man.
That's like life. Life is so simple. It's so simple, but sometimes we want so much that we just put so much stress on us because we want so much. But I forgot. There's a quote. I think it was Bob Marley that said it. You know what I mean? Like, you don't understand success until you give it the race or something like that. I don't know. I'm not quoting it right. I'm not even sure if it's Bob Marley, but I don't know. I just remember that. But VillN, you're right about that too, though. You know, it's easy to quit, right? I only say that because it's real. But there is a sense of peace and serenity in that itself. Because living a simple life, some people enjoy that. I
But it
enjoy
also
living
has to, but in fact, it also has to depend on why you're quitting, though.
Yeah, that's
You know what I mean?
100%.
So
I'm
yeah,
only
so
saying,
that like
I'm not
yeah.
I'm not saying to give up, right? I'm saying that I also remind us
No,
that
I hear
there's
you
people
though.
out there that just don't want so much. And because they don't want so much, that's where they find true happiness, you know? And so I don't know. I just thought I would share that. But anyways, for me, very quick, nothing too crazy. Just for the future generation and the people who's watching and our fans, supporters, the family, friends, and everyone who's watching from near and far. Really simple. Just apply yourself in life, man. It's really simple. Or for me, at least, I'm gonna say that because there's a lot of ways to not do that nowadays. People don't go out to events, support certain events. People don't go out there and compete. People just kind of stay behind like a computer or type or watch stuff. You know, you get stuck easily. So if you want to do something in your life, I say just go out there and apply yourself. Application's key, not the apps in your phone, right? I'm talking about really going out there and dig to finding out who you are. That's the only way for you to meet your superheroes and your mentors and meeting the pioneers and exchanging with them and getting question answer. And that's key because the more question you get answered, the less answers you will seek, I will say. And one person that I'll use as a notable credit is that Big Gorilla Just from Underground Flow, and you know, one of the youngest member in our crew, but also one of the most successful person because I feel like she's the most humble and the one person that asks the most questions, you know, and like that's why she is who she is too. Because I was like digging her brain one day, and it's like how are you so successful at such a young age? Of course, there's a lot of hard work, right? But something she does really good is she asks questions. She ain't afraid to ask questions. She's not gonna let those questions ponder in her head all the time. She asks questions. So definitely apply yourself and ask questions. And I feel like that will help you at least one step ahead of your life and hopefully accomplish your dreams. Because if anything, again, we're here to help you progress in your life and whatever it is, dance, art, sports, writing, you know, even the medical field, you know, if this somehow brings some sorts of understanding who you are and what you want to be. So, yep. Just heads up before we go into the next little free giveaway question. Feel free to give us a question, ask us a question because we're gonna go into a Q&A soon. We'll love to kind of get like maybe a couple questions even before we log off. I know we talk about a lot of stuff, but we also want to answer some of your questions because again, like I said, ask questions, it'll help a lot in your life in general. So moving on to, I know we got some people who won some free t-shirt for 7 Dosary. So big shout out to you guys for tuning in and answering. I know Jackie Tao just won one. He answered, I believe, the Marcus one, right? And then we have Vakshon, Kevin. I'll get that for you. Yeah, you got the medical field side, but just heads up, Gary was a nurse before diving back into, you know, the full-time breaking community activist and supporting the what he does now, and honestly finding true happiness, like he said in the prior episodes. So yeah, so heads up, the next question that I will ask for free merchandise from 7 Dose, if you are tuning in right now, is tricky. Who started dancing first, VillN or MPACT? Tricky, huh? Think about it. If you listen from episode 1, you would know that question. Okay. So yeah, we'll answer a question right now. We have some questions that people have posted in a comment. Did you guys see one that you guys like? I know Jackie Tell. I saw this one here. Maybe we'll start with that, huh? Oh, hold on.
Yeah, you want Jackie's question?
Oh, okay, that was a personal question to me from Vashon Kevin. I'll answer that personally with you then. But Jackie Tao have answered one that is like overall to all of us. So how about let's do this one here? How have you guys coped with 2020 so far in terms of the pandemic and everything that's been going on social media, etc.? What are your goals for after the craziness has passed?
Mm-hmm.
You guys see that?
Yeah, I can hop into that one.
Yeah, feel free to.
Man, how did we cope with 2020 and the pandemic? I mean, it's been crazy, man, honestly, but it's a lot of adjusting. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, for me specifically, right? I've just focused on trying to adjust as much as I could. The first week was a little bit crazy, and then everybody knows we had that small reopening for 2 weeks, and then we closed back down, right? I was hoping we could stay open, but like rather safe than sorry. That what I tell everybody, you know. So I mean, to cope with it, honestly, man, like I said, you just don't give up. You know what I'm saying? When there's an obstacle in your way, you find a way around it, and you find a way to work around it, and you do the best you can. Of course, I would like to tell everybody, be safe during the pandemic. Don't be a dum-dum, right? Be safe. Be safe, be smart on what you do and how you do it. Work around all the blocks that you have because of the pandemic. So if you can't go to the gym, you know what I'm saying, invest in some weights, and if you don't got money for weights, then start looking up calisthenic workouts. Hence, if you guys check out Break Fit, my channel on YouTube, right, I talk about calisthenics in breaking, and I incorporate calisthenics with breaking, right? So that's also a way that I kind of, and the pandemic really helped me explore other options too. Trying something new. YouTube's not really my stuff, I'm not really on social media like that unless I'm posting about what I'm doing. But to be completely honest, I'm the type of guy where I don't really look at anything on social media. I kind of post my stuff and then I kind of just leave it at that, right? Some goals after the pandemic is over, right? I've talked with all these guys before we even had this, with me doing Muay Thai. I actually want to go to Thailand for 6 months and train out there, just, as a little thing. And of course, I still want to travel for dance, right? Actually, my boy Dum, me and LX were supposed to go to Korea in September before all this happened, but because of the pandemic, then we kind of just decided, hey, let's just postpone until everything's safe. We'd rather play safe than sorry, But yeah, one way that I've been able to cope with everything, man, is I'm just trying to find ways around it, trying to be safe with all the things that I'm doing. And honestly, man, I hate being inside. I hate being inside, as all my brothers right here know. I'm coming straight from training into the podcast, and just kind of being careful when I'm outside, socially distancing, keeping my mask on when I'm outside. So please, everybody, wear a mask. Don't be a jerk. Wear a mask. It's just to be safe. Safety precaution first. You'd rather be safe than sorry, like I always tell everybody. And just finding a safe and smart route around what you can't do. So like I said, if you can't go to the gym, find out other ways to work out. If you can't practice for your team, that's why we have Zoom. That's why we have StreamYard and stuff like that, right? Find ways around it and just be safe, being safe about it, being smart about it. So coping with 2020, in terms of the pandemic, just be safe. Be safe, don't stop, and don't give up. This is just an obstacle that, I believe that we will pull through sooner or later, but in the time being smart about how you're going about things also. So yeah, that's just from my perspective and how I've been able to cope and dealing with that, and some of the goals after the pandemic is cleared, hopefully soon.
Sick. Just remind everyone to we are at the point where we're asking questions. So if you're tuning in, feel free to ask a question. Right now we're answering a question about how we're adapting right now during 2020 and what are some of our goals during the time we're doing this and same time afterwards. So again, mad love to Munch. We're gonna send you some good energy, and like, no, I know your venture off to something totally. I don't want to say, you know, it's something that's gonna be different, but I feel like since you're already a successful dancer for yourself, I believe in you, man. You'll definitely be successful in that as well. You know, just you already got the mindset of a winner, so just keep going. Props for sharing that, and also want to remind us, everyone who's tuning in, that we're also giving away a free virtual dance class with Sae. Take advantage of that. It means a free private dance class with Sae. So all you have to do again is just share this live stream right now and tag Sae. As simple as that. The first 5, he will contact you guys, and he will give you guys all the info on that, and like teach whoever's the first 5 who do it first. Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah,
highly
and if
recommend it, man. Check out my boy Sae.
who does, like pass it on. I'm open to teaching people. I
mean,
might as well answer that
they were
question while
calling here. Yeah.
I'm
Sorry. Go ahead.
2020's been pretty crazy. If you guys don't know, a lot of the shows in Las Vegas have been shut down, and they haven't opened up since March. So currently, I am unemployed because I can't do the show. But the Jabberwockies company has been active, and they've been doing a lot of stuff. They've gone on AGT. They're currently going to be doing the VMAs very soon with the baby. They're very active. For me personally, I've been on survival instincts, So when a pandemic hit, and the whole economy was short on masks, I actually picked up sewing skills and I sewed my own masks. And my fiance just started being a nurse, so she's a frontline worker right now. She works in the COVID units. She's doing an amazing job. She's working really hard. And they were out of masks, so I was like, you know what? Well, I need to protect my fiance, so I'm gonna make her masks, and that's what I did. I went to Walmart, picked up a sewing machine, and I looked up tutorials, and I started making masks to protect us. Well, I kept dancing too, but I also have a 2-year-old son, so I'm full-time daddy mode, and I've been picking up a lot of cooking skills. So I'm learning how to cook, and I'm constantly cleaning the house because he's a mess. But it's part of the job, and I think it's a blessing too to be home all the time with my son and watching him grow up and watching him become so smart and picking up everything I do, all of my bad habits as well. So I need I'm learning about myself as well. I'm learning how to be a better dad. Really, I'm taking this time to just figure myself out. I don't know what's going to happen after 2020, to be honest. And I have no plans at all. I'm just kind of going with the flow right now because it's crazy. You know what I mean? So because you're right, I'm really kind of planning upon what to do depending on who's president. I think the election is going to have a big impact on the next 4 years. So I'm waiting to see what happens this November, and then I will plan accordingly.
Yeah, man. If y'all can't really hear that too, that's baby Sae in the background right there.
Being loud.
What about you, VillN or Gary? You guys want to chime in on this too?
Go.
Yeah.
So with 2020, it's been a really rough year. Man, the way I see it is I try to take it a day at a time. I recently lost my mom at the end of March, so right when COVID kind of happened, and wasn't working for a while. And then my job called me back up. The city called me back up and asked if I wanted to work, and I decided to busy, with the things going on in my life. So, and then just been home. I did a lot of cleaning in the house. stuff that I thought I'd never do. Cleaned out my whole garage from side to side. And if you guys ever seen a Hmong garage, it's not a garage, it's like a storage room. So I did that, and just like I said, took it day by day. Right now, this Clovis Unified just reopened, so I'm back at work, but it's odd. It's definitely not the job I got hired for, but I appreciate I have a job. Keeps me busy, and it works right around my schedule where I can work my first job, come home, help my daughter with her class, and then go to my next job when her school's out. So I'm just, coping with it, like I said, a day at a time, making sure my schedule fits, and, try to stay active, working out as many days as I can, try to see as many friends whenever possible, just close friends. I know we're under COVID. Definitely looking forward to moving past this. I have a lot of ideas in mind already. I want to have more discussions just like this, all around the community, not just the Hmong community, and possibly, just keep moving forward and, just make that change that we need it in the world. So
That's what's up, man. That's what's up. What about you, Bill?
Yeah. For 2020, you guys already know how it's been. I think safety was just like the first, thing. At least like for me, was to make sure that we were safe. You know what I mean? Even till right now, you know what I mean? Like I still feel like there's still a sense of making sure that you're safe, not only for yourself but for others. You know what I mean? And I've been doing things that I kind of been putting on the side for a long time too. And like of course like cleaning the cleaning around here. You know what I mean? Just reorganizing things. I trying to stay active as much as possible too. Dude. As far as like for the future, I don't really know what the future is gonna hold after 2020. But I'm just gonna stay ready. That's it. Stay ready for anything. You know what I mean? But also, of course, as far as like what I plan for myself, just stay ready, and I feel like just if anything, just keep up with me, and you'll see what what I will be doing in the near future. So stay safe.
Dude. I mean, for me, really simple. I'm just trying to find self-growth right now. I'm just trying to grow in any way that I can. I'm really fortunate. I'm not gonna dwell too much on obviously we know what the situations are now in our life, but like if anything, I will also try to do my best to try to find myself and grow in different ways. So I mean, I would just say really simple, just trying to find self-growth. So that could be in like ways to read books, to whatever ways to work out for health and wellness, and stay active and stay positive as much as I can. So really simple on that. And I'll answer very quick. I think there was a question that I think Peter Moore mentioned. How do you guys get your signature? Mine's always through mistake. I don't mean to do it, and it just happened. And then VillN say, "Hey, do that one more time," and I do it, and they're like, "Oh shit, that's right." And I just keep doing it, and it just works. Just to kind of give you insight of signature, I'm not sure how you guys are with your signature movement. Do you anyone want to share? I just kind of trying to answer a different question, just kind of get some audience engagement on that.
I got a signature move, but I think it's mostly common with people who are in the all style scene, and definitely my friends who see me dance all the time. But I get my signature moves from just I try to be as unique as possible. I see what everybody else is doing, and I try to do something different.
Yeah. For me, man, I honestly personally feel like I haven't even created a signature move yet for myself, man. So I don't know, man. Right now it's like Impact said, right now it's trial and error, man. I mean, you got a bunch of ideas, but sometimes the ideas don't come out as you want. He's like, nah, that's not gonna work, you know.
Yeah.
But I mean, specifically for me, I think I want to be seen as more of an intricate b-boy in a specific type of a way, you know what I'm saying, where people can, you know, if I was behind a curtain and all you can see was my shadow, I want people to be like, oh, I know who that is, that's Munch, you know. So that's actually what I'm working on. I don't think I specifically have a signature or anything like that. At least I personally feel like I don't, you know.
100%. I mean,
Man,
I could be right about that on you.
Yeah.
I could totally tell who Munch is when he dances. Go ahead.
Thank you.
So I think for me, man, like I don't know if I have a signature move, but I have like a favorite move that I like doing a lot, you know, because I like the way it feels, I like the way it flows. And everyone knows I love my windmills, you know, like whenever you see me do windmills, it's like it's probably one of my best moves, but dude, it's, you know, it just gives me that excitement, you know. I felt like it's a move I'll be doing when I'm 80, man, like that muscle memory. So but definitely
I'm
Yeah,
gonna hold
like-
you to it, man. I'm gonna hold you to it.
Yeah, I feel it, man. Everybody tells me that I need to master Munch Mills because my name is Munch. So I'll be trying to get as much variations of that move as I can.
That's
would you go
good.
for the close off?
For me, I feel like my focus was never signatures. I think it becomes only signature when people point it out. So for me, I feel like my signatures only became signatures because people told me they liked it. And again, it goes also back to what Gary said. It just feels good. Yeah, feels right.
Boom. That's true. Feeling. Sometimes you guys don't know, but it might look physical. Movement might look so physical, but it's really a feel sometimes. So, but other than that, thank you guys so much for tuning in. I know we're hitting our ending mark for our time. That we already at about an hour and a half. Again, thank you guys so much for tuning in. If you're tuning in, this Hmong Hip Hop Heritage episode 4. Today we went deeper than dance. We talked about many topics that relates to stuff that we learn or experience through dance, and at the same time, it's vice versa as well, right? So, anyways, we just want to say thank you guys so much for tuning in. Guys, you want to say anything before we logged off?
Thank you guys for everybody who's been constantly coming back, and especially everybody who's been, you know, just if this is your first episode, check out our first episode. You know, like,
Yes.
thank you guys for just listening to us and, you know, coming together and giving us some attention and some love.
Yeah. Thank you guys so much. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for watching us. Make sure, if y'all don't know, follow all these fantastic brothers of mine on social media, right? Keep up with everybody. You know what I'm saying? Also keep up with me. You know what I'm saying? Instagram, Munch the Ox, right? And little do people know, I want to explain the Ox is going to be my nickname that I've chosen just because, you know, we talk about your new tip, your through in Hmong, man. So, you know what I'm saying? Strong, passionate, humble. And that's what I'm trying to be, you know. So Munch the Ox on Instagram. Make sure you guys follow Energy. Make sure you guys follow my brother Sae, you know, the Lor brothers, VillN Impact. Make sure you guys follow Gary, because everybody has a lot of plans coming up, and you guys just want to keep updated with us. You know, who knows, maybe later on we might do another one. You know, I know for me, myself, I actually plan on starting my own podcast called The Munchies, and I'm going to have these brothers on definitely. So make sure you guys are keeping up with everybody, all right? Keep up with us on social media. We appreciate all you guys. I definitely appreciate all you guys, and you guys is, you know, and for those who have been tuning in for every single episode, we recognize you guys. We see you guys, and thank you guys so much. Ladies, for you too. Also, if there's any female Hmong dancers, please comment your name. We want to know who you are. I want to know who you are, you know, and any dancers in general. You know, we want to know who all of you guys are. So please tune in with us. Please let us know who you are. Ask us some questions. Make sure you guys share and tag, because my boy Sae is giving y'all a workshop. All right. Make sure if you guys haven't, do we already have all the questions answered? We have all those questions answered. Sorry, y'all.
We have majority of them. I think there was one left.
Oh, we got one left.
Well, one left, but feel free. Well, if you want to watch this one more time and answer it, whoever answers first, I'll give you guys the free giveaway. But yeah, that's right. I mean, pretty much said majority of the plugs right there. So, Bill, Gary, y'all want to say anything?
Yeah, I would like again, of course, thank everyone who's been tuning in. I also feel like if there was, hopefully, these discussion was able to help individuals who are going through things and maybe just needed to, some insights. If there's anything that you guys who in the audience liked and loved, please let us know. Comment it what y'all liked. Maybe even comment what you guys would like to see for the future. If there's a few, if we decide to do it again. But I just wanted to see what you guys liked with this discussion, and I thank you all for tuning in and spending time with us. Appreciate it.
Yeah, and then for me, I just want to say the same thing. Thank you guys for listening. Thank you guys for watching. And definitely feel free to follow us on our social media platforms, Instagram, Facebook. And just keep in touch. If you guys got any questions, send us a DM. Definitely, I want to, give all you brothers right here a lot of love and respect. And thank you guys for doing this, and yeah, everyone else, just thank you guys for listening.
Yes, sir. That's it. Hmong Hip Hop Heritage episode 4. That concludes our 4-part series. Thank you so much for tuning in. Again, this is brought to you by Gary Yang, Ryan Lee, Sae Cha, Longka Lor, and Longka Lor. Thank you so much for tuning in. We appreciate all you guys. If you want to watch the other episode, again, reminder is still on our page at the Lor Brothers on Facebook. Thank you so much. We love you guys. Peace.
Peace.
Peace and love.
Unity. Peace.